It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. For the Timberwolves, they lost their first matchup against these guys. This, their final game against them in the regular season, looking to finish with a split. Really powering through this last leg of the season, Shaq, this late in the game, are there any final adjustments that the top teams can make before the playoffs start?
Yeah, you got to polish up your rotations. And if the guys absolutely need rest, give it to them, Ernie.
He's really sleeping.
As long as he doesn't snore, he
is really legitimately sleeping.
It's amazing.
He mentioned it, fell asleep, just like that.
He's got, everyone has a different mental state, as Shaq just showed. And for the playoffs, you have to have a really good one. And there's a lot of sleeper teams in the playoffs still left. And I have a sleeping bunch here. Back to you, Kevin. I'm kind of tired, too.
Let's meet the visiting team, the Chicago Bulls. At center, Robin Williams. At small forward, Denzel Valentine. At the other forward position, Lau Martin. At point guard, Chris Dunn. At the other guard position, Zach Levine. The head coach of the visiting team is Fred Hoiberg.
Everyone to the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the home of the Timberwolves, where we're broadcasting from live today. Along with Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge on our sidelines, this is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, one of the most dominant players of our generation, Kevin Garnett.
Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Last outing for Minnesota, the loss to the Rockets in Houston. And that does your confidence guys no favor. They got manhandled in that one. It wasn't pretty.
And simply put, they couldn't score. We never got completely in sync in that one.
Well, that's putting it mildly. They were in total disarray. I have no idea where their heads were that night.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Markkanen and Lopez are together down low. Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. And it's Valentine in at the 3 spot. Now here's Teague. Hey, Kevin, when you play with Andrew Wiggins, you saw firsthand just how explosive he can be. What impresses you most about where he is right now and where he could go?
Man, Andrew's potential is through the roof. I've told him this countless times that when he wants to, he can. There's nothing that he can't do. It's just about his consistency and how he sees that. Man, I told him, man, the world is his. I've yet to see a player in our league that has the athletic ability that he has, mixed with the IQ and being able to be players on both sides of the ball if he wants to. This kid is super long, he's fast, he's deceptionally fast. Like, I don't think people know how fast he really is. Great shooter, has a great IQ, not a good IQ, a great IQ. I told him, man, you know, I would like to see him with a little more oomph in his step. But if you know Drew, he's laid back. He's super cool. He's smooth with it, and his game reminds you of Steve Smith. And when Smitty used to, you know, rock people to sleep, he has a very good patience to his game.
And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. And Kevin, your last couple of years, you got to mentor some young players. Karl Anthony Towns comes to mind. How good do you think he can be?
Man, Cat is the next. He is what I call the next of the next. Yes, he has the pedigree. He has the work ethic. He has the IQ. Most importantly, the desire. You know, when you talk about players being better, I always like to think about if players know history. He understands history. He's been here before. You follow him through his high school years. He's always wanted to be an anchor. He's always wanted to be a very informative person. He looks for knowledge. He seeks a lot of knowledge. He wants to know what he's up against as far as history. Who am I chasing? What's his number? How many rebounds did he get? What did he do his rookie year? That's what's driving him.
Now here's Teague. Lauri Markkanen unable to get his last shot to go. Butler, no good.
That was very tight defense. He tried to force the layup anyway. I think that was a questionable decision.
And it's Wiggins missing. You talk about Karl Anthony Towns and his willingness to learn. You can't be great, I don't think, Kev, if you're not curious. And I always thought that was one of your best qualities. You were always curious.
Listen, I was super curious, and I always chased that curiosity. Not only that, I started to put the work ethic with that. If you don't put those things together, well, I would always tell him, be humble. You'll never get to the point where your arrogance, starts to take over. Let your arrogance be on the court and what you're doing, how you're playing. Control your breathing. The young fella has a lot of good bones. I love his makeup. I love the fact that I had a year with him to teach him perspective, to teach him mentality, to teach him that you got to come in here and work on this every day, and the day that you don't, someone has advantage. He pushes himself. Karl Anthony Towns he's from the pedigree, man. He's one of them ones. I like to think that he's under the umbrella. He's one of my young brothers, man.
And it's Butler missing.
I mean, the mid-range jump shot, a lot of guys have a hard time knocking it down.
Kevin, when you're talking about influences, you mentioned Chris Webber's name a lot.
Yeah, see, Webb was kind of, he and Stacey Augmon was at a time where I was trying to find myself as a player.
Search for a roadmap, maybe, who do I most resemble?
Not only that, but just some direction. At the time I was a big who had handles, and if you know anything about Southern coaches, they don't want their big handling the ball.
Yeah.
So you get the ball up to a guard or whatever. It wasn't until I got to Chicago to where the scouts or, people were able to see, like, wow, this big can actually handle the ball. He has handle a little bit. And then my high school coach would actually make me bring the ball up to show off or showcase.
No kidding.
I hated it. I was like,
oh,
my God.
But look at what happened,
bring the
right?
ball up. And he knew that turning, I could handle it. I was like, oh, my God, I hated this. And he knew I would go and dunk him on. I was like, man, I don't want to shoot. He was like, no, bring the ball up. Anyways.
Dunn kicks to Markkanen. Lopez passes to Dunn. 5 on the clock. Pulls it from the elbow. Misses off the left iron.
Yeah, awkward shot there. I mean, creative on the leaner, but the D just made it too difficult for him to convert.
And Butler, kind of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he? I mean, more than just a scorer, a very capable passer as well.
Here's Levine following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Levine dishes to Markkanen over Gibson. Markkanen can't get it to go.
And that's a surprise. He's usually deadly from mid-range.
Then we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your prime? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach that was just kind of settled on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. You know, I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you in practice, and then during the games, you know, it's about the product and what you put out on the floor. You know, coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, you know, understand that it's a game of runs, know that it's a game of momentum, and have plays for those momentums and those times. Or coaches that I've always gravitated to and understood.
Like Doc was kind of in between, wasn't he? Little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was on fire, I'm sorry. There was nothing calming about Doc.
I'm trying to cover Doc's back here.
No, shout out to Doc. Doc will rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You need to play with that edge. You needed to know that if you wasn't in your spot, 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there. And it's good to play with that. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, you know, this is no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play, absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance, and, you know, knowing that you're playing for the next guy. So, you know, that's important.
And it's Wiggins missing. Chicago's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently.
I call it dialed in. You know, I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, you know, I only know one way to accomplish something. You go at it with everything you have. Yes. You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
You can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all, not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
And Kevin, you've recently gotten a chance to do more TV. Your show Area 21 has been tremendous, and the critics love it. Talk about this chapter of your career.
Well, you know, it was something that I wasn't planning on, but, you know, Turner brought me a great concept, and it fit the mold of what any man cave is, and that's really what it is. But the fact that we can go in, watch games on multiple channels, see multiple games, articulate it, you know, give it from a perspective of a player, coming fresh out of this generation of players, giving understanding to this generation of players is very important, because these players now are very different. Teaching these young players, still being mentors of these players, very important, and still loving this game. It's still a beautiful game. Man, the game is growing. I'm watching these kids do all types of different stuff, man. The creativity in our game now is so heightened. So, yeah, I'm having a bunch of fun, which is one thing I never forgot the piece of advice you've always told me, man. So you continue to enjoy what you do, and it'll show. And I'm hoping that I'm making you proud of that, Kay. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, man.
You're an incredible ambassador to all of those things. The game, the fun of life. Right. You capture a lot of the fun of life.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm enjoying it. So, you know, hopefully it shows.
Now, here's Vonleh. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Tries again. Oh, that's blocked. And it's Noah Vonleh with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Minnesota in the lead. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, I did have a chance to catch up with Tom Thibodeau. Now, they lost the first game against this team, but the coach said he's not worried. He thinks they just have to rely on their offense a little more. He told me, look, the first time didn't go the way we would like, but I still think we can score against these guys. We have to keep the ball moving, and then we have to finish strong. They're trying to even up the season series at 1, Kevin. We'll see how they do. Back to you.
Great. Thank you, David. Their approach is going to center around their offense. What do you think, guys? Is that the way to go?
Sure. I mean, that's the way this team is built. When you've got the weapons they do, you got to use them.
But they can't play too one-dimensional, Greg. They've got to match their intensity on offense with the same kind of effort at the other end.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
Now here's Crawford. Last game he had 13. Muhammad, no luck.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
And this is what it's all about, guys. The competitive spirit, the energy that we're seeing. This one's got the feeling like it's going to go down to the wire.
I'm loving this one. It's been back and forth with these lead changes. It's probably going to just come down to who has the ball last.
And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for Crawford.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Now here's Jones looking for his first basket still in this one. Shot clock at 6. Crawford against Grant. Crawford with another miss.
Look, that's in his range, but he had a defender right up in his chest.
Here's G. They get a hand on it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Chang. Paul Zipser, he's checked in for G. .29 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Holiday with it, now defended by Muhammad. Holiday, the pass to Grant. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Now it's a 4-point Bulls lead. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Holiday against Crawford. From deep three-point range and released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so the first quarter is in the books. It's the Bulls finishing the quarter on a tremendous 8-0 run. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls. Chicago leading by 4. And people may not know, KG, that you're not just a broadcaster for 2K, but you're a member of the 2K community.
Have you been keeping up with the community, man?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Man, listen, shout out to all the 2K players out there. I'm Jizzle Lord. Y'all know what it is. I'm Jizzle Lord 5. Shout out to my OBF team. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Dex. Shout out to Bug. Shout out to everybody out there playing. Right, we definitely.
Wow.
It's all good. You know, I'm OBF. I'm about the team. I'm gang. You know what it is. Jizzle Lord, y'all holler at me. Y'all know what it is, 2K. Right.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. They've got Portis. Grant is out there with Van. And it's Zipser in at small forward. Chicago's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. And Kevin, welcome to the 2K team. I didn't realize how much you love NBA 2K.
Oh, man, you know 2K is always live, man. I'm a super fan. Man, this game is going all over the place, bro. Like, seriously, like, I'm geeked to see what's next, man. They got everything down. I'm sitting here watching all the little small intangibles that come with the game. I'm watching the game grow. I'm watching how better players are getting. I'm watching the online play, man. It's lit. It's lit. I can't wait to see this.
And Kevin, you played for some great coaches, but is there any coach you would have been interested to work with that just didn't get a chance to? Say, you know, Greg Popovich or Phil Jackson.
You know, those are great coaches. I've had very, very little time with those guys.
Maybe in all-star games and things like that.
I have. But, you know, when you do all-star games, you let yourself go. You know, you open up yourself to try to, you know, be there and be present with the guys. Yes. Open up, you know, hey, what's up? What's been up with you? How's the year for y'all? Y'all playing well. We're going to beat y'all when we see y'all, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you're very cordial. And, you know, you're not talking too much about X's and O's. But you do share perspectives. You do share, you know, philosophies. Pop is a great mind. I had a chance to sit with him a couple times. Phil's a great mind. Phil's super deep and loves the philosophy of. I haven't had a lot of time with those guys. Doc Rivers, you know, shout to Doc. And, you know, I know he doesn't get a lot for his philosophies, but he's very enriched with philosophies and styles and bringing teams together and trying to make sure that guys stay connected, stimulated, stimulated. He would always tell us to never get bored with the process.
Wow, that's so intriguing. Interesting to hear. The feed to Crawford. Dishes it to Towns. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Bulls leading by 9. Portis kicks to Zipser. Here's Grant. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls.
And that's what happens when you become too perimeter oriented. If you're not hot, you don't score.
Well, when you force it all night, you don't get good results. Never really adjusted the game plan the way they should have.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Taj Gibson's checked in for Bielitsa. Wiggins comes in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Teague in for Tyus Jones. Towns dishes to Wiggins.
Yeah, the defender all over.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And the first one at the line is good. And both free throws good for Wiggins. The Bulls leading by 9. Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
You know, Kev, I can tell right away that we had something special getting together right in September, right before the year started. We started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I could tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. It's very rare that you're able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, around each other, understanding each other, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
To bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, none of us spoke Italian. If we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep. And no one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other so much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. Doc's letting us be who we want to be, and he letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top aggressive and to the point where it's too competitive to where he has to come in and separates us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here to the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. He started trusting our IQs. Now we start putting a couple things on defense. Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. When this flow is going like this, you don't know that you're going to win it all, but you know you're on the waves of something special. Right. And that's how that felt.
To the inside, Towns. At balls, nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists now in this one. And KG, you're retired from the game now, and you're stepping into the broadcast business a little bit now, aren't you?
Man, you see me?
How do you like it?
You know what? Area 21 is something that is authentic. It's me. I'm having a great time watching the games. It's really cool being a fan now. I can root for people I want to root for. I don't have to worry about preparing and who I'm a guard, and I'm getting the tea. So you know what? It's a great time. It's work. It's not just you go on there and you have a bunch of fun. We actually get some things done, but we have a great time.
You're an actor.
Hey, Kev, listen, watching you, being around you, man, the great, rest in peace to Craig, Ernie, all of Charles, all these great influences, man, has definitely helped, not just me, but our younger generations of broadcasters, man. It's totally, I didn't see this being my lane, but I'm having fun with it.
You're doing a great job. The shot by Markkanen, nobody around. Off target from outside.
Frozen. The guy is just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Towns sets the pick for Teague. There's the dish to Wiggins. Here's Towns. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Wow, he had it at point-blank range, but the defense was all over him.
And having played with Zach LaVine, KG, we see unreal athleticism. He can jump out of the gym. What's one thing maybe that we don't know about Zach? Anything at all that you've observed that just goes, whoa?
A lot of people know Zach LaVine for his dunking, for his creativity. Yes. A lot of people do not know him for his shooting. He is one of the very few I've seen that can consistently get hot and hit multiple shots, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row. I was able to see him, go 15 in a quarter by himself. I did not know he was that explosive of a scorer. I'm talking about a natural scorer. He can play the 1, probably is better playing the 2. Very creative. I think as he gets older and more aggressive, he will start to attack the basket with a different velocity. He's still young. He's still learning the game. A lot of upside. This kid is the kid that you want on your team. He is a gym rat.
No kidding.
You have to lock the keys, unscrew the bulbs. You have to take the rims down. You have to listen. This kid's a gym rat.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's what you want in your young guys.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Pass to Markkanen from deep. The long distance 3 is buried. Markkanen's got 9 points in the quarter. And KG, talk about how the greats can just impose their will.
It's almost like another level.
Yeah.
When you see LeBron, what he did to Detroit in that 4th quarter, that's a blackout. You don't know what you're doing. When you see Cole go for 81, when you see Chauncey come down on a 1, these players are blacking out. These are elite players in elite moments, taking the moment. Paul Pierce is one of the best that I've ever seen grab a moment and savor it and just put it in slow-mo. And nothing speeding them up. Special players. I get a front row seat of seeing Ray Allen, the same thing. He had a great composure about himself to slow himself down and hit pressure shots. Tim Duncan, same thing.
Gibson the screen. Towns wide open. Another miss by Minnesota. The Bulls leading by 12. Here's G. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Bean passes to Lopez. 5 to shoot. G kicks to Lopez. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor. And they definitely have the edge in those fast break points.
They can't be afraid of keep pushing the basketball in transition, because in a half-court set, they're struggling a little bit.
Levine kicks to Lopez. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for the Bulls.
And boy, they've been producing points both inside and out. That kind of symmetry offensively is a great sign, and it's correlated with their early success.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Jang, he's checked in for Gibson. And it's Muhammad in for Wiggins.
And until someone stops him, he's just going to continue to keep firing from distance.
He does a great job, in my opinion, of finding space along the perimeter and has the touch to knock these down.
Towns with it, working on Portis.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And it's Grant in the corner. Vonleh setting the pick for Holiday. Pass to Portis. Here's G. Another 3 for Chicago.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Great to have you with us, KG, and Lightning Experience. Come back and join us sometime, okay?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it anytime.
You were terrific. You were terrific. You were great.
K-Hall, you always make me look good, man. Since 95, man. We've been doing this a long time, my dude.
Great to see you.
Thank you, dog.
Wow, it's such a pleasure to have Kevin Garnett with us. Steve, he looks like he hasn't changed a bit, like he could go out there now and still play.
I totally agree. He's one of those guys that stayed in phenomenal shape, and when he played, I mean, his impact on the game from the 1 position all the way to the 4, he was a handful.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Towns. Crawford comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Teague. Grant against Crawford. Grant dishes to Vonleh. This one for 3. G, no good. Timberwolves trail by 14. Right side Jones. The rebound by Holiday. And Chicago shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Vonleh, and G has it in the corner. Misses the three.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And there's the foul. It's on Bobby Portis. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot two. The Timberwolves shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And that one falls for Jones. And so Jones nails both of them. 8 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's G. Here's Grant. No good on that last second attempt there. And so it's Chicago, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
It's the 2K Sports
Welcome back, everybody.
Show.
It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. They dialed up the pressure quite a bit in the second quarter at both ends, and it worked out well for them as their lead grew all the way to 12 points at the break. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
Well, they've been playing with some toughness. And it's led to a nice lead for them, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding numbers. And now they need to stay mean, Ernie. You cannot lose that edge in the second half.
Kenny, let's get your input on the Timberwolves.
Well, the perimeter D is just too loose. I mean, there's no excuse for letting the team rain that many threes on you. And at that higher percentage, guys aren't fighting through screens. They're not staying with their shooters. They're not helping out. Just bad basketball on the defensive end. They've got...
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. You look at Jaren Grant in this. Osman, we've talked about it. The growth of the game around the globe has really been something to see. How about among international players, guys that catch your eye?
Giannis, his name keeps coming up in all these conversations. Kristaps Porzingis. Al Horford has been fantastic. Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol, Rudy Gobert. There's so many different names. These guys stand out, but I think the young guys, Giannis, Porzingis, those are the guys I'm really looking at.
I'm a Dragic fan, too. Goran Dragic is a guy I like, though. He's a slasher. He's a guy that will drive.
He's been very solid.
Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. And it's Towns in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. The 19-foot shot, and with that, the Chicago lead is cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Andrew Wiggins.
He has a very well-rounded offensive game. There's just no shortage of ways Wiggins has to punish an opponent, inside, outside, or otherwise.
Markkanen can't get it to go. Timberwolves shooting not great, 40% for the game. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
To the right side. Markkanen passes to Dunn. Now on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Wow. With the defense bearing down on him, he calmly flips in the reverse.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And so far this season, it's been average at best at the line, only 71% as a shooter. And Dunn does a little bit of everything out there. Scores the ball, distributes it well, and also pounds the glass aggressively.
Here's Levine, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Josh Gibson picks one up.
Well, whenever you watch the Bulls, you can't help but think back to their golden age. I remember those days. The 90 Bulls are arguably one of the best teams ever. Hard to argue with the greatness of those teams.
And Smitty, you got to play against Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in the 90s. Just what was it like going up against them during their peak as a team?
A nightmare. The reason why you had two wing defenders in Jordan and Pippen who could guard the basketball. And then you had both those guys that were excellent on offense. And at the end of the game, they had the greatest closer of all time, in my opinion, in MJ.
Outside, Levine. Valentine kicks to Levine. And again, no good by Chicago.
You know, coming out of the half, you want to set the tone for the rest of the game. But going 1 for 4 is the wrong way to do it.
And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Towns. Chicago's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third, still 0 for 3. Here's Levine. Offensive rebound. Plays it up and banks it in. Lopez has got his second bucket.
You love the way Robin Lopez just goes after those missed shots. That's where he can do damage.
And the Timberwolves call time here. Robin Lopez, a solid big man who can clean up the glass and, Greg, get you some points on the other end.
And Robin Lopez might not have great range now, but, you know, that could change. He says he's working on a three-point shot, and his logic is that since his twin brother Brook can make threes, it can't be that hard.
Here's Wiggins. The shot misses. Now Chicago takes it the other way. At one point, they led by 16. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
4 on the clock. Here's Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got assist number 5 here tonight. Dunn kicks to Levine. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That one is on Towns.
Attacking with purpose. Levine takes the contact, finishes strong, now goes to the line for one more.
Ready throw good, Levine.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
Towns, a screen on Levine. Butler dishes to Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
That's great court vision by Jimmy Butler. Really seeing the court well.
Feeds it to Markkanen. The pass to Levine. There's a good screen. Markkanen kicks to Valentine. Bulls moving the ball around, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years? No less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
Muhammad, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves trail by 9. Outside Teague. Towns, high post. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Lopez has got 4 rebounds in this game.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
A three-pointer is right on target. 12 points for Lauri Markkanen.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
Here's Wiggins, and it comes off the front of the rim. The Bulls leading by 12. Levine with it, now defended by Muhammad. And there's the bucket from Markkanen.
Hey, look, you got to keep Markkanen out of the paint. He's just too big on that block and imposes his will.
Towns, the screen. Kicks to Wiggins. Here's the 3. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 4th assist in this one.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Chicago calls timeout. Steve, with all the sharpshooters in the league right now, we'll always see the pick and roll. It's never going to go away. Usually it was a small and a big. A guard getting the screen, the big then rolling inside and getting the pass. But now, because the players are sometimes, we see smaller lineups, a lot of guards on the floor, 3 guards at a time. Sometimes you do see a guard-to-guard pick and roll. You see different sizes combining with the most standard play in the league.
You're totally right, Kevin. You look at the pick and roll, the hardest play to defend. And now we have the pick and pop. The bigs are not rolling. And like you said, we have guard-to-guard pick and roll. You want to just create a mismatch. And because of all the spacing, it's so hard because when a guy rolls down the lane, there's such a long run for defenders now. So that's why the pick and roll is great, especially with the new defensive rules. You can't be in a lane, so it opens it up even more.
G kicks to Portis. Rebound by Bjelica.
And guys, there's a lot to like here defensively. That shot almost ends up in the stand.
And he was not quite in position to block the shot, but the result is all the same.
G passes to Markkanen. Fires the 3. Good on the 3-point shot. 6 points for G.
And a good judge of spacing. Sees he can get it off over the taller man.
This is how he makes his living, making those judgment calls, understanding the opportunities.
Shot off the screen. That is good. And the Bulls lead is cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Crawford.
Love watching Crawford shoot the ball. The confidence he has in himself is what drives him.
Here's Holiday. That's short off the rim. Timberwolves have gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. In the corner, it's Crawford. And another 3 for Minnesota.
The 3-point percentage of Jamal Crawford, he can go hot and cold, but he's always a threat.
Grant kicks to Markkanen. Here's G, defended by Jones. Grant the pass to Portis. Markkanen in the corner. The 3. Rebound, Minnesota.
He is really forcing things now. Doesn't have to do it because his teammates are picking up the slack.
Jang, a screen. Crawford kicks to Bjelica. Holiday against Muhammad. Holiday with the block, but he gets it back. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Butler, he's checked in for Shabazz Muhammad. .156 left to play in the third. Here's Butler, stolen by Grant. Here's G, defended by Jones. G kicks to Markkanen. Pass to Portis. Here's G. 6 points for him. Shot clock at 2. The shot by Holiday, no good.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
The Timberwolves shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Jimmy Butler.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. The NBA has so many incredible ball handlers in the league right now. Steve, you think of guys like Kyrie Irving, maybe the best handle that I've ever seen, and certainly Steph Curry. But Jamal Crawford is right up there with the best of them. He plays with the ball on a string.
Yeah, you're totally right. Jamal Crawford, longevity-wise and tricks of the trade when handling the basketball, he can embarrass you. Jamal Crawford loves to use his handles, and he's a showman out there.
Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 13-3 run. Here's Jones. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Taken away by Holiday. To the paint. It's tipped.
And this is obviously where you'd like to see a 2-for-1.
End of quarter, great time to squeeze out an extra possession.
Jones dishes to Butler. Over Holiday. That one wide left.
You know, I like the competitive fire, but he's still really out of sync.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Dishes to Markkanen. And Holiday kicks to Markkanen. He feeds it to G. Clock at 6. Pass to Markkanen. Outside Holiday. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Just 4 seconds left in the third quarter. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And he throws it right out of bounds. Careless mistake.
G. No good on that last second attempt there. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. It's the Bulls up 4. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Timberwolves trail by 4. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So the Bulls 5 right now. G is out there with Grant. Then there's Markkanen. And it's Portis in at the 5. Grant the pass to Portis. Now the Bulls have had one of the largest and strongest fan bases in the NBA for years, having the Jordan era Bulls helped, but they have always been a beloved team in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, you see the devotion from their fans at their games, and the numbers back it up. They've had the best fan attendance every year since 2010, and they've been in the top 5 since as long as I can remember, and that's long.
Screen by Jones. Crawford kicks to Butler. Tries again, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
I got to give Jimmy Butler a lot of credit. Do you remember he was the 30th overall pick in the 2011 NBA draft? He has really elevated his game. Well, you look at the growth that Jimmy Butler has made on the offensive end over his career. Always adds new tricks to his well-rounded offensive game. It's why he has won the most improved player in the past.
Robin Lopez is checked in for Chicago.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Butler kicks to Crawford. There's the 3. Timberwolves keep it alive. Jang, no luck.
Uh-oh, he misses the bunny. I think he thought somebody was coming over to contest it.
Here's Portis. Offline with his 3. And the improvement Butler shows on offense. Recently worked on his step-back jumper. Now it's a major tool for him, Steve, to get points from.
You're right. I mean, Butler has worked on his offensive game. I mean, now it's a difficult matchup sometimes with one-on-one defenders. He has a solid jump shot, and we all know he can defend. And now against double teams, he's becoming a willing passer.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Chicago calls timeout.
You think back when Fred Hoiberg was a player in the NBA, great shooter who had a strong knowledge of the game. Not too surprised he ended up as a coach.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns checked in for Jack. Gibson comes in for Bjelica. Wiggins is checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Teague in for Tyus Jones. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Fred Hoiberg was talking with his team during the break. He said nobody thought we'd be in this position right now, and we are. He said he was proud of his guys, and he also said, now go finish this thing off and get this win. Kevin?
And Smitty, you and Hoiberg played against one another during your careers and even guarded each other, I think, from time to time. What was it like going up against a player like him?
You know, Kevin, he must have been real young because I'm so old. I don't even remember that, but I do know and remember Fred Hoiberg and watching him coach. He is a fast decision maker. Also would find space as a player, and you see some of his strengths as a player and how he designs his offense right now.
6 on the shot clock. Here's Dunn. Drills the three-pointer. Dunn's got it all tied up now for the Bulls.
There it is. Just lined it up and knocked it down. His first 3 of the half, second of the game.
Gibson dishes to Teague. And Gibson kicks to Teague. Butler on the wing. Over Valentine. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And that's 17 points for Butler.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Bean passes to Dunn. Launches it. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Towns, the screen. Inside. Well-placed alley-oop pass into the layup. And the Timberwolves lead by 1.
Just a great job there from Teague to locate where his teammate was and get the ball to him on time.
And Levine.
Woo! Love it, love it. The creativity, extreme athleticism. You see why Zach's won the dunk contest multiple times.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Here's Butler. Rebound by the Bulls. Lopez has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Valentine with it. Now defended by Wiggins. Passes it to Portis. From deep. Rebound by Butler. Butler's got rebound number 5 here tonight. He kicks to Teague. Corner shot. Chicago grabs the miss. Lopez has got 8 rebounds in this game. To the wing right side. Back to Levine. Bulls moving the ball around. Dunn dishes to Lopez. And the Timberwolves with possession here. For Minnesota, they've gone 6 of 11 since the start of the 4th quarter. Just his first attempt. And it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Teague. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Gibson with the steal. One-on-one here. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, when Teague has a step or 2 on the drive, he'll shield the ball and do his best to draw contact. And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint.
And the book on T, Greg, is to make him an outside shooter. You don't want him getting to the rim.
I mean, he's a good finisher around the rim. His outside shooting, although streaky at times, not bad, but not great either.
Here's the screen. Levine kicks to Lopez. Now, here's Dunn. Tight defense on him. 6 to shoot. Here's Levine. And the rejection by Towns. Teague with a clean look. They get it back.
Lazy defense against a good score. Turns out not to matter.
Valentine passes to Portis. Dunn kicks to Levine. And easy 2 points on the layup.
And you like to see this from Levine, attacking in the paint with confidence.
Teague kicks to Wiggins. He dishes it to Butler. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Chicago making a switch here. Markkanen's checked in. That free throw good from Butler.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
Levine dishes to Dunn. The feed to Valentine. Markkanen in the corner. Over Gibson. Great D that time from Gibson. And Wiggins, his young career just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that two-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
That one goes. Count it. The Timberwolves have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Back to Towns. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
Dunn passes to Lopez. The dish to Levine. Up off the screen, and the jam by Levine.
I mean, both sides are really battling. Zach LaVine right in the middle of it, wanting to take charge.
Minnesota leading by 3. Teague kicks to Wiggins. And the pass to Butler. Levine with the rebound. Chicago's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Dunn dishes to Levine. And then jammed down as he goes right over Taj Gibson.
Another one for Zach. He has a scorer's mentality. Very dangerous when he gets into rhythm.
The Timberwolves shooting 53% from the field in the fourth quarter. Can't ask for more than that from your offense. Towns, the pass to Teague, and it's slammed in by Teague.
Not a surprise to see Teague stepping up when his team needs him. Huge score right there.
Dunn kicks to Valentine. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Wiggins with the ball.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
At the line for your Timberwolves, Andrew Wiggins, taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
Tremendous showing of confidence by getting those 2 to fall.
Feeds it to Valentine. Got a piece of it, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. There's a minute 34 left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
That's how it's drawn up. That is, everything but the finish.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
1:27 left in the fourth quarter. Kicks it to Dunn. Valentine with it. Down low. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And Lopez doing whatever he can to get himself to the line.
It's the first, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. Lopez hits them both.
And now down to a 1-possession game. Those foul shots, huge.
Butler sets a screen for Teague. Butler kicks to Wiggins. Over Valentine. No good off the back of the rim. Bulls trail by 3. 56 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Now, here's Dunn. Teague covering. Dunn kicks to Lopez. A shot that time, not on target. And Minnesota will come the other way. Butler against Levine. There's the pick. Teague dishes to Butler. Towns a screen on Levine. Shot clock at 5. Here's Wiggins. Off with the layup.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
Lopez kicks to Levine. Pass to Markkanen to tie it up. So it's Minnesota taking the W in a close one. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You gotta love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith.